Ed Helms, Patti Harrison, thank you so much for being here today. The movie is Together, and I'm so excited to talk to you because this was my favorite movie coming out of Sundance this year, and I saw a lot. So I really want
Cool.
to
Thank
congratulate you
you.
both. You did outstanding work.
Thank you so much.
That's really nice
Sure.
of you. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Ed, I'll begin with you because you're a long way from the hangover here. You play Matt, a man who wants to be a single dad through surrogacy. And I guess my biggest question for you is, was it a challenge to play a slightly more subdued character than you're used to playing? What spoke to you about the character of Matt?
Well, yeah, we are quite a long ways from the hangover here. I think, yes, this was a unique challenge for me because as a comedy actor, I don't like quiet. That makes me scared and uncomfortable. I panic. I try to do jokes. I try to do pratfalls. Nicole Beckwith, the writer director, just wanted this to be a very kind of still and ambient um, and peaceful movie. And for my character goes through some sort of goes into some emotional places that I think people don't really expect from Ed Helms. And all of that was terrifying, but ultimately really exciting for me as an actor. So I just jumped right in.
Patty, so I have to make a terrible confession at this point, and I'm so embarrassed to say this. I knew your work from shows like Broad City, but I had no idea until after I saw this movie that you're part of the queer family. I'm so excited and delighted to have you on the team.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I was gonna say it. I was gonna use the C word, but I'm like, I guess I shouldn't. Great. Yeah, I am a transsexual, transgender. um, so it's definitely, the movie. The content of the movie definitely denotes to like a conversation, a wider conversation around like the optics of it,
Sure.
what that means for sure.
Let me ask you a little bit about that then, because this is probably the first time you play Anna, Matt's surrogate, and this is probably the first time a lot of the audience will see a transgender performer playing a pregnant cisgender woman. So I'm wondering, what kind of apprehensions as an actor did you have about that, number one, and is there a responsibility to that in your mind?
There was a thought that went into it in terms of when I was approached about my interest in it, because I um I definitely was apprehensive around like if it was too on the nose to be like, okay, if I'm gonna place this character, I'm playing like the most explosively cis character you can play, which is like, a pregnant woman. And so I did think about it, and I was like, like, is it like, is what are the optics of that? What are the political ramifications around that? What are the conversations that I'm gonna like probably be roped into around that? And it took I think a moment for me to like push all of that aside and be like, what is me as a person, as the person at the bottom of that's inside of that box, like what does that person want? And I was like, I want to like star in like a movie that's like well written and nice. So it was like, okay, great, I'll do that, and I'll worry about kind of like all of these other things later. Because I think what's frustrating about it for me is that, like, entering the imitation, I mean, basically the entertainment industry, Freudian slip, uh the imitation industry, entering it, it's so interesting how like the selling point, people are trying to find the selling point of like what makes you commercially viable as a performer. And it's,
Sure.
oh, like you're trans, so that's like, it's like, yeah, and I am that, but there's all of this other like lateral stuff in my life that of my humanity that makes up who I am too. But it's like, oh no, but you're trans, so it's like, this is what you are now to everyone forever. in this industry, and it's the only thing that you are. And it'll show up in like the roles that you play. You're going to be playing like a struggling sex worker who hasn't fully transitioned, and her dad still thinks she's a he, and like it's like, okay, like I actually kind of wanted to do acting and like performance as a way to kind of like massage and escape those parts of my life for a moment in some capacity. Like I do think representation is important, and for those stories to be told, it's authentic. But it definitely, this was an opportunity to kind of do something I never thought I would get the opportunity to do, which is like play this character in a grounded sense. Like I was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll get to play a pregnant woman in like a sketch, like a someday. So it feels very like special and weird. I don't know if I'm really answering your question. I think I'm more just like kind of like griping right now. But yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of feelings about it. It's very like, it's a very layered thing.
Of course. I mean, that makes perfect sense. What you say makes perfect sense. And I think the important thing from all our standpoints is you do it well. And as an actor, that's always the bottom line, right?
Yeah, I hope. I think also like, you know, the well-being, I like the well-being of the person in the role, or like the, you know, I've thought about like method acting, like people who method act, and people, they're like, that guy stays in character for the full year and he's playing like a mentally ill, like violent person. So he's like pushing and punching people on set. And it's like, does that make you like a good actor to do that? Because if it does, I'll do it. I will do it. I'll like start punching people. I was actually, ask Ed, we got in like physical altercations.
I feel like you punched me a bunch of times and it had nothing to do with your character, but oh
well. One time you did a front flip over me and kicked me in the back of the head. It was very like Tekken. It was very like acrobatic and cool. And I was like, I like that. It did add to my performance and my experience with them.
Oh, that's wonderful to know. Ed, Patti, thank you so much. And congratulations again on the movie.
Thank you, David. Cheers.